Well, all right, all right, all right. You already know what it is. It's another episode of EThought Conversations where I talk to people who are engaging, educational, and entertaining, who are difference makers in the world. And as always, I got another difference maker for you today. Let me properly introduce him. He's the CEO of Des2 Fit and Des2 Fit Corporate Wellness. Desi has created his companies with the goal in mind to educate busy family professionals and entrepreneurs how to stay healthy and fit while balancing the demands of families and careers. Now, you know, we all need that. He's a certified fitness instructor, nutrition, change behavior coach. He's created his own fitness platform, of which I was a member of, and the wellness technology, had his own app, absolutely fabulous, which has helped empower his clients across the nation with the tools to live a more balanced and healthy lifestyle. My friend, my brother, Desi Johnson. I'm about to call you Des Too Fit. That's just
That's, I
that.
mean, that's amazing. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Like, I'm like, am I all of that? Did I do all that? The way you make it sound, man.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. It's just good to have you. We met in the gym. Me and a few fellas were working out, and you was walking around there, as they call you on social media, the light skinned person with the muscles.
And
You that
not with
light skinned
with
dude.
the not with the mop top, right? Because it won't
Now
stop growing.
with the curly hair, high top. And we just gravitated towards one another. Me and the fellas, we introduced ourselves, and man, the rest is history. Now it's like during COVID, maybe right before COVID.
It was probably a little bit before that because you got
Yeah,
to remember the Shed Fit Factory
right,
days,
right.
Fuse 45. It was a little bit before that, maybe 2 or 3 years before that. But that just
Yeah,
shows you how time is flying.
yeah, yeah. And
Wow.
then, yeah, no, time is flying. It seems like yesterday. What I really like about it, before we get into questions, is that you again introduced us to an app that you had. It was only not workout, but it was nutrition, behavioral, and also again during COVID, you became innovative. We started workouts outside, which I wish you started again. That was
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to be doing something special on my birthday. We're going to be doing a big party down at Beacon Park. So that's going to be a birthday party outside. So I'm going to make sure you get that. And trust me, you're not the only person. Like, bring it back, bring back the outside classes. That was it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
outside is absolutely
I'm getting
fun.
close. I'm getting close to potentially bringing it back.
Well, again, you're a wellness coach, fitness instructor, nutritional instructor, but today we want to focus on men's mental health. You just did a mental health seminar just on yesterday. What sparks your passion for helping professionals and then men in particular?
You know what? Think that's being obese and being overweight, that then impacting our mental because we
Mm,
don't look the way we want to look, and we also don't feel that the way we want to look. So I wanted to change that, right? I wanted to change that. I wanted to be someone that educated people on how to move, how to eat, how to rest and recover, so that we can just add more value to our families, to our careers, to our productivity, and just feel better about ourselves because it's not enough education on this. And that's really the reason why. And you said why men, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
man. We already know that men need this because we so constantly working and going and going and going. And many times we forget about ourselves in the process.
So, what kind of emotional and spiritual weight do you see men literally carrying in this day and time?
It's a lot, it's a lot. And we talked a little bit about this in the past, right? The weight that we bearing it's big expectations for us, right? How much money that we make, right?
Get
The
the bag.
way that we look and how we take care of our family and all of these different things. And it weighs on us, right? Especially men who really want to take care of their family and make that money and do everything that what they need to do. And it impacts us, right? And sometimes it can impact us negatively because we can be seeing these people on social media now. You know how social media is now, posting about what they doing and where they traveling. And it's just like I'm barely making paying the bills and I'm struggling to pay the bills. And you show so it impacts us, right? There's so many things that impacts us. So I'm just someone that believes in just having faith and believe in who you are and working deeper on you. And when you really know that, hey, you're here for a reason, and everybody kind of has their place and their space. You can do something, right? But when you get caught up with everybody else, man, it start messing with the mental, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Let's stay there for a minute because you talked about social media, which now is a big part of our lifestyle. I say social media is about filters, angles, and good times. How do you help men not fall under the pressure of believing social media? It can be so deceptive.
Yeah, it can. It really can. And what I do is, and I touched on it just a moment ago, is my goal is to help men understand that they can be successful in their lifestyle, they can be successful with their health, they can be successful with their mindset. But it all kind of starts back to really believing in yourself. And you know how you work for a company and a company has a mission statement, right?
Mhm,
You
mhm.
gotta have your own personal mission
Mm.
for yourself, right? Things that you wanna do, places where you wanna be, and you can use social media as an opportunity to say, "Oh, wow, they doing some great things," or "That's good to see how they're moving," and it can be positive, but at the same time, you know that depending on your mindset and depending on where you are as a person with your confidence and your self-esteem and where you want to be, what chapter you are in your life, it can negatively impact you as well. So I like to use my social media to show people that you can be a good man, you can be a good father, you can invest in your health, but at the same time, you notice I showcase my ups and my downs too, my trials and my tribulations, right? And hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm learning from my mistakes, and I want to showcase that to the world as best as I can. So I try to be real and genuine. That's the approach that I take because again, there's a lot of things out there where folks want to be perfect, and none of us perfect.
So you talked about you're not perfect. You learn through your mistakes. Is there anything in particular you could share with the audience that I learned from this not to do with this as a father, as a husband, as a coach? What are some of the life lessons you
Yeah,
learned?
that's real, and it's so interesting that you said that. I just presented at the health conference,
Yes.
and at the conference, I talked about how there was a period of time where making good money and a beautiful house, the wife and the kids, and I had my daughter Summer, and Summer was born with a major chronic illness. It was a respiratory illness, and
Mm,
when she was born with that illness, right, my wife stopped working, so that impacted us financially. She had these crazy medical bills and things like that. She spent the majority of her early years to about 4 or 5 years old in the hospital, trach, oxygen. We had nurses and everything. A lot of people didn't, and they was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah," and during that time, I was in a dark place, right? I was trying to make sure the bills were paid. I was trying to make sure my wife was happy as possible. I was carrying this weight of being a man, like, "Hey, I can't fall, I can't cry, I gotta be strong," so it impacted me. But what I also talked about during the conference is how I realized that I needed to have my faith in God, that God was going to get me through. But then I also needed to make sure that I wasn't losing myself because my wife needed me, my daughter needed me, my
mm.
family, and I had to utilize the things that I learned in my experience from the nutrition to the mindset and prioritizing my life and taking care of myself because I was in a dark place. So again, that's just one of those things, that I share. I hit a bad spot or I hit a dark spot too, but my faith, my education and my value of health and family is really what pulled me out of that spot because a lot of men just would have crumbled. It was a they would have crumbled.
When life felt like it was crumbling, because you said this was for the period of how long?
This was so my daughter was born with that respiratory defect in 2011. Okay,
Okay.
she's one of the kids that's been on life support at Children's Hospital, one of the longest. I can't remember the time period.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So again, what happened with her respiratory system wasn't fully developed. Her trach, her esophagus, so it impacted her breathing, and then it also impacted her digestive too because of that. So these doctors, I think she's one of 7 kids ever. where they had to perform this surgery, and there was a very long time that she was on a life support where they were basically breathing not through the way we breathing right now, but through her blood, or something that was called ECMO. So, man, it was crazy seeing my baby hooked up on this, my wife living in the hospital. I'm working, then I'm back into the hospital, my parents helping to take care of my oldest daughter, and it was nuts. It was a crazy situation, but it was she finally at about 5, 6 years old, that's when her trach end up being removed, right? Being closed up. And then we could finally hear her for the first time. So again, man, this was a very, very long period of my life for years to where I had to really truly support my family and r- really build on myself. And then and during that time, which is amazing, which is crazy, I started training part-time just in the gym just so that I can bring in additional income with my full-time job so that we can do what we needed to do to make sure the bills and these medical bills and everything was paid. And now I've almost created a empire where I'm helping men all over because I do experience. I know that you can hit a bad spot and you can hit a tough spot, but I do know that having the right mindset, having faith, and prioritizing yourself despite what's going on helps you really get through that. So that's it. I shared that. I literally just shared that. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, there was so many men up in there like,
Yes, let me.
I'm gonna
Bro.
cry in the car. I ain't gonna cry. I'm
Woo!
gonna cry. So, but
Yeah.
I did it. And it just shows you gotta take you on a journey. And I remember questioning myself, like, why am I going through this? Why is my family going as this? Is my baby gonna make it? But God was building me up as a man. He was helping my character. He was helping me be strong. He was helping me prioritize what I needed to prioritize. And then he was helping me with the steps and the things that I needed to know while I was building my business and becoming a better man. And that's that, man. That's it. That's it.
It is so much meat in there. And what I heard you say is that, pain could either just, pressure could either just produce the pain and you live with the pain, or it could present you with a plan as well. And having went through that as well, having a daughter on life support in college, people don't understand to keep going through that process. Because what they don't know is, like you said, you're still working, you're coming to the hospital every day, you're waiting for good news. Oftentimes you don't get good news. You're watching monitors and beeps and having hope, and yet you're still continuing. You got a wife, she still has needs. You got other children.
Yep.
All this is coming down on you in life at a chaotic time. You could cave in. Was there a was there a cry out moment? Was there a
Yeah, you
breaking
know
moment?
what? There was so many cry out moments because again, you gotta remember between the hospitals, the endless surgeries. I mean, I heard my daughter's voice like her first few days of life before the major surgery. Before that, I didn't really hear her voice
Wow.
until she was 5 or 6 years old because again, we heard the beeps and the sounds and the everything. Basically her room in my house when she was home was just basically like a medical room, like a hospital room. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
there was countless, man. And but what truly got me through was and again it's just being real. And a lot of people don't understand that the value of faith and spirit and believing in God, because I knew that there was a light, right? I knew there was a light, and that was one of those things that truly kept me going. I can remember having dreams, right? And you've seen recently my daughter right now, she just turned 14 on July 6th
Oh,
now. And I have dreams with her running around outside, playing with her and picking her up and her doing our workout classes, which I was dreaming these things, man. Though I was having those tough days and those hard days, and times I would cry in the car because I didn't want my wife to see me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I would have those nights where I would dream, and it would be dreaming of the things that I see now, doing the TikToks with her, right?
Uh-huh.
Listening to the music, right? Dancing with her because that's what she loves to do, and drawing with her, hearing her talk, the sassy little girl, teenage. Man, that's I dreamed it. But that was God. I truly believe letting me know that no, be the man that you need to be. Take care of your wife, take care of yourself, learn and grow, build this business, be a servant to others, help other men, and I did it. And
Yeah.
and now we're at the conferences and clients all over and the corporations that I'm helping and different things like that. That's what he that's my daughter was a blessing, man. Simple as that. She was a blessing because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would be the man that I am today if it wasn't for her. I just don't.
So people they see you today, and you joke all the time. You share stories when you run into people, how they chide you and tease you like you that light skinned muscle man, but they don't understand where you come from.
No, man, they don't, man. They don't. And that's the thing because again, sometimes again, going back to the social media, depending on what you're paying attention to. Oh, this guy's doing this presentation, or oh, this
He's
guy's
on the
working
news.
downtown, or they go him and his wife breaking that bread at Ruth Chris. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know that there was a time to where I was barely paying those medical bills not too long ago. There was a time where my company downsized and restructured, and I had to take a lower income while supporting my wife and my kids and making sure these bills. There was times where my wife literally she was home for years. And I mean once my daughter's summer got a little bit better to where she was kind of breathing on her own and stuff, my wife said, look, I'm getting ready to go back to school, and I'm going to go back to school for respiratory therapy so I can make sure if something else unforeseen happens along our journey, I'm better able to care for our daughter. And she's a respiratory therapist too now. So again, it's just it's crazy, man. It's
Wow.
crazy. So it's been a lot of hard work. It's been a lot of tears, right? It's been a lot of happiness and joy and just the ups and downs of those emotions. So again, I think with what we do now in regards to health, in regards to wellness, what makes us a whole lot different from a lot of people, the we went deeper on the behavior and the mindset side. We dealt with real life experience. It's not a one size fits all approach. We got chronic illness and injuries and life happening and the stress at work and everything going on. And it's not just easy just to do a workout. That's a very it ain't that easy.
It's
So
not
how do
it.
you do things in a way that's aligned with your lifestyle and your goals and helping you overcome some of these things that you may be dealing with on that's negative as well to get through, because ultimately we want to be as healthy as possible and have a good quality of life, take care of our families, feel good about ourselves, and that's just really what we want to do. But it's not as easy as social media may sometimes make it seems like, man. It's not.
So you don't wake up tomorrow and say, I'm gonna work out, and then you have the body you dreamed of. It's nutrition, it's mindset. Mindset is so big.
Huge.
Talk about mindset shift and what do I need as a black man every day when I wake up mentally?
I,
What's
I'm,
a
I'm
good
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. What we need, and we touched on that, man. As a black man, we need to have our own personal mission statement, right? Of who we want to be. But then what we also need to have is a deep understanding of our why, right? I've found that when I have this, I know who I want to be, right? So who I want to be is a strong man, an educated man, a family man who's a service to others to help others every single day. So every day when I get up, I'm creating and doing these things to do that, right? That's my mission,
hmm
right? That's my mission. So a man needs to have a mission. A man also needs to have a deep understanding of their why, right? Because that why is that emotional thing that no matter what, no matter how tough, no matter how hard your day is, you're going to dig deep and do what you need to do because you have a deep why. You have something to look forward to. Those things are very important.
Let me simplify that. Tell me what is why? What are you talking about when you say I need to have a why?
So the why is almost like your meaning, what you're passionate about, right? So
Okay.
again, we wake up every day, right? Some people just get up and then they just go. They just go through the motions, right? But
Mhm.
having a why is going to be something that's going to help you with goal setting. Having a why is something that's going to help you despite what's going on negative to push through regardless. Having a why is going to have you believing in yourself and having faith in yourself and then not getting caught up with what everybody else is doing or how everybody is doing it because you know your mission, you know where you want to be, and this is your why. So when you have those things, right? Those boundaries and those non-negotiables,
Yeah.
that's when you push through, and that's the reason why you gotta have those boundaries as it relates to your health. You gotta have those boundaries as it relates to your family. You gotta have those boundaries as it relates to your spirituality, because those are the things that's going to help guide you through whatever light and whatever purpose that you're supposed to be going through, and I truly believe that, and I help men with that.
Yeah. So you're a health coach and nutritional coach. I'm gonna push you into the relationship space. I know that's not your forte, but in that season, that difficult season, what could someone's significant other and what could their circle of influence do to help and aid them in that chaotic season?
So sure, say that one more time because I want to make sure I get this right because that was kind of deep. You see, I'm usually like this, and I said,
All
let
right,
me get
I'm
that.
adding relationship coach to your title today.
Okay, let me.
What
Okay,
can your
hit
I
me.
let's talk like boy. What can your woman and your friends do to help you when you going through?
So so I'm speaking as a relationship coach, huh?
Well, you're just speaking, period. You don't have you're not official. You just this is not uh clinical definition. This is you speaking from
This is a conversation.
this is a conversation.
I mean, I just think just going back to relationships, man, and just being real. I think the biggest thing. I'm gonna just speak on my relationship,
Okay.
right? I'm gonna speak on my relationship. So my wife and I have a very big understanding of communication. We feel that communication is one of the biggest things that helps our relationship. It's one of the biggest things that helps our kids and where we want them to be and where they want to go. And then we also believe in honesty too, right? I think honesty and communication is big. And then I also believe is what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word, but when you just it's collaboration, but again, not collaboration. It's like sometimes you gotta be like, you may not want to do something.
Compromise.
There it is. There it is. Compromise. So it's communication, honesty, and compromise, right? Those are three of the things to where your relationship can really be negatively impacted if there's not a true understanding of those things, right? So at the end of the day, I want my wife to be happy. My wife want me to be happy as well. Of course, we're going to have our boundaries and our non-negotiables that I talked about a little bit earlier, but at the same time, we're going to compromise too, because that's what it's all about. At the same time, we gonna keep it 100 as possible. Now sometimes you
Um,
got to be delicate with your communication, so well I do, so I won't get cussed out,
right.
but it
Good practice.
that's but it's just being real. That's important too. But I do believe that when you think about a relationship, and if you want that relationship to grow. It's consistent communication, it's the compromise. And then there's another thing too, is also understanding that people change too. I'm telling you, bro, I'm not the me 20s and even 30s and late. I'm not the man that I was, right? And my wife isn't necessarily the woman that she was either. But throughout the process of us being together, we learned to continue to love each other and understand that we're gonna change, right? We're not gonna be the same. you
Mm.
know? So meaning that not in a negative way, but life experience is
Evolve.
going to happen.
Mhm.
You know, we're gonna evolve. I feel like I evolved and got a
You
whole
should.
lot better, but at the same time, I've had things happen in my life, losing loved ones. My wife lost her mother and lost her sister, and it changed her a little bit. So I had to be able to understand that she lost some of the biggest people in her life. She had
Mhm.
a daughter that was very, very sick where she had to let her job go. So with that being said, she not gonna be the same. So I can't expect her to be the same. I need to fall back and move a little bit different to support her because these life-changing things change her life. And if and was it tough sometimes? Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, it was tough when our baby was sick. Yeah, it was tough when she lost her mother and her sister. Yeah, it was tough when she wasn't working because she was the primary caregiver along with the nurses that we had in our house with Summer. So I had to understand that I couldn't expect this woman to be the same woman that she was with what she was going through. And the same thing with her. I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm stressed out, I'm building the business, I'm making sure these bills are paid. So we had to, and that's it. And we grinded through it. It ain't easy. And it,
So
it never has been easy. But where we are right now, brother,
put some work.
it worked. I'm a blessed man, and I'm happy that we pushed through and we fought through everything that was coming our way while we were trying to kind of get to where we are now.
The success was worth the struggle. You talked about communication. One of the things black men do is we suffer silently because we haven't been taught how to communicate, and we don't view that as a necessary tool, or sometimes as adverse to our masculinity. You talk, you're just supposed to do. You're supposed to go out, do, and then come back home, and you never talk. How did you overcome that communication gap, or were you always communicative?
You know what? I will be. I'm just be honest with you, right? There is a
100.
period. There is a period of time where I got very big into therapy,
Mm.
having someone to talk to, because again, I said this. I think I said this yesterday. I said the real strong men, they ask for help.
Wow. Say that again. Say that again.
Real strong men, they ask for help, right? So there was a period of time that I got big in therapy, and I'll tell you, I church, man, and God and reading the Bible. That was it. People don't understand the importance of talking things through, right? And the importance of mindset and looking at things on a positive, right? Or understanding that some things are beyond your control, right? So you really need to focus on the things that you do have control of
Oh,
because it be the things that we really don't have control of, this the thing that be tapping us in our mind that be messing us up. So again, it was therapy. I truly highly recommend therapy. This last conference, I actually collaborated with a therapist,
mhm,
Andre Charlie. He's the owner of Affecting Change, and therapy does miracles, right?
mm,
Faith and God and the book that does miracles, right? And when our spirit and our mindset is it. If you
yeah.
can get that mindset good and you got that spirit good too, everything else gonna follow. And
Wow.
that those are really the things that really I'm gonna go ahead and say save me, save me. Because
Say,
again, I just think about where I was 14 years ago, and I coulda went another direction. I coulda crumbled, right?
mhm.
I coulda
Wow.
crumbled.
Wow, man. I know time goes so fast. We gonna have to have a part 2 to this because,
Yeah, we got to.
yeah, people attention span, there's more to the story, but, when I'm gonna do this thing what I call first thoughts, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, but I want you to get your thoughts together too, because I want you to help that man that's in trouble at the end. That'll be your closing thoughts. I want you to help him out of his deep, dark place and speak to the black man. But before I go there, we're gonna have a little fun. I do this is called EThought Conversation. I do this thing called first thoughts. So what I want
Okay.
you to do is give me the first thought that comes to your mind. I'm gonna give you two choices. You pick one or the other. So, beach or mountains?
Beat your mountains.
Yeah, which one? Give me your first thought. You
Beach or mountains?
Yeah, do you like the beach or you like the mountains? What would you choose, beach or mountains?
I gotta pick that beach.
Pick the beach? Okay, well, of
I
course
gotta
you
pick that beach. I gotta come out there like you already know.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
Netflix or dinner and a movie or Netflix and chill?
Um, Dinner and a movie.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Summer for
Mm,
sure. Come on.
okay.
Yeah, you already know.
Ah, mornings or evenings?
I like the morning time.
Morning time, okay. Um, road trip or take a flight?
I gotta get that flight. I used to love the road trips, man. I'm older. I gotta get where I gotta get quick, man. It's a
We
wrap on
can't
that.
stay up that late no more. We like, "This road."
Mm-mm. I got that. Go ahead and let me get that flight.
A, Boys to Men or New Edition?
New Edition, man. I see them every time they come here.
Okay, okay. Brandy or Monica?
I don't really care, but
Okay,
I
okay,
guess
okay.
Randy though. Randy probably
iPhone.
got more hits.
Brandy got more hits?
Yeah.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone. I don't even know how to use Android.
Ebook or physical book?
I gotta have that old school book. I need that book.
You like the hard copy?
Yeah.
You mark them up and all that stuff?
Yeah, I got that highlighter. You know how I go. And then I put the notes in it too.
Okay. Movies or TV series?
Movies.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Laugh or cry?
Laugh.
Okay. Talk or text?
I prefer to talk. If I can talk, I prefer to talk. Text makes sense, but talk.
Alright. And my last one, Cheesecake Factory or Ruth Chris?
Roof Chris, you already know. I actually just went to Roof Chris. I think it was Thursday.
You go to Ruth Chris like they go to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, yeah, right. Somebody got me a gift card. We gonna keep it 100%.
You 100% said, "Imma use it all, huh?"
I'm gonna use that gift card. So it wasn't that expensive.
Well, man, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on EThought Conversations. We got to have a part 2 because men and people in general just need this, mental, nutritional and physical health space. It is so big right now, and we just see it recently here, and a woman getting murdered in McDonald's just
Mhm.
by her employees. So we're out here struggling, and we're
Yeah.
helpers one of another. And in your closing thoughts, just give us some inspiration. How can you help somebody out that deep dark place, or anything you want to say as your closing thought?
Yeah, thank you for just giving me the opportunity. And again, it is real. It's we dealing with it, right? It's a little bit of darkness, out here right now. And I just want to say that anybody that's, in a dark place, that you can get beyond that, right? You can get beyond that, and a way you can get, beyond that is just taking that time to talk to someone, taking that time to understand that you are loved and you were put on this earth for a reason. There's a mission for you, there's a purpose for you, and it is up to you to just truly identify what that is. So just don't the light will come, and but what you have to do is you have to believe in yourself, and understand that you can overcome. So if you're somebody just going through something, I'm gonna just tell you, just from a health guy, right? Just think about self-care, and think about self-love, whether it's music that makes you happy, whether it's going for a walk that makes you happy, whether it's reading a book. Find something that makes you happy. Try to, eat foods and things like that that makes you feel good, and gives you energy, right? Just try to invest in you, whether it's talking to your pastor, or it's talking to a therapist, or going to see the doctor. You got to understand that before you can be who you need to be for anybody else, you got to make sure that you are who you are for you. So prioritize yourself first any way that you can so that you can be happy and you can be healthy and you can have a better mental space. You can potentially even have a better physical space. But again, that doesn't happen without pouring into yourself. It doesn't happen without investing in yourself. So please just take care of yourself. You need you, and if nobody ain't told you, we need you too.
Oh man, no better words ever spoken. You need you, and we need you too. As
Yes,
my
we do.
friend, my brother Desi Johnson the second, the CEO of Des2 Fit and Des2 Fit Corporate Wellness. How can they find you on social media, email, whatever you want to use?
Yeah,
Where can we get in
absolutely.
touch with you?
Absolutely. So you guys can get in touch with me on Facebook at Desi A Johnson II. And then I'm also Des to Fit on Facebook. And I created a wellness community where I go on live and free workouts and free resources and different things like that. That's health and fitness 40 and beyond on Facebook. Can also find me on IG as well, at Des to Fit. And then last thing, I created like a small little educational seminar. It's so funny we talked about these things. I created like 4 pillars to help people get as healthy as possible, along with the mindset and nutrition and accountability. So I want to share that with you guys as well. It's like a little 4-minute training that you can learn how to be a bit more healthier. It's Des to Fit and coachmommy.com. Des2Fit and coachmommy.com. Go ahead and check that out and learn how you can get that mindset
Come
good and get
on.
the physical good and get the nutrition good. And it's totally free. So go ahead and check it out. If you have any further questions after checking those items out, just reach out to me through that or through social media. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been amazing. I'm happy we did this.
Hey man, I'm so glad we did. We had to work it in through the workouts, but we got it done.
We got it done. We got it done.
Man, thank you again for being on another episode of EThought Conversations. Like, comment, share. Again, like, comment, share with somebody. Somebody's going to need this. You're going to be a blessing to somebody else by sharing this. And again, as always, I leave you with an EThought. My EThought, I was at the gym the other day, and an older guy's like, not older, he's like 68, but man, he looks great. And he's like the host of the gym. He just has that gregarious attitude, and people just gravitate towards him. Speaks to everybody. And when I was leaving, he said, "Man, remember consistency over intensity."
Ooh, there it is.
I was like, "Wow, okay."
There it
Because we
is.
always
That's it
go for the
right there.
intensity, but the success is in the consistency. Consistency. Your mental, your spiritual, your family, your faith. If you can get consistent, you'll experience the intensity.
That's it. That's the word. That's the word of the day right there. That's the word of the day. That's it.
That's it.
That's why me and you like this. And we get that. This is it. This is why. That's it, man. I got nothing but love and respect for you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And that's it for watch out for the next episode of EThought Conversations. My man, Desi Johnson II. We'll see you later. Like, comment, share. God bless.
Take care, y'all.